My last day, I will be graduating in September next month. So I passed my math class with the help of a teacher who was super cool. She was trying to pass as many of us as she could because she felt sorry for us. And she saw people putting in work who was really like trying. She saw people like really, like she rewarded you if you came to class. If you didn't, and then you showed up next class, she'd be like, "Where were you?" and call you by your name, like in front of everybody. Anthony, where were you Monday? Like your mom or something. Excuse me, sir. Where were you? You're like, mama. I said, truthfully, I slept through the class. I didn't even realize what time it was. I was knocked out. She said, at least you're honest. So now all I have to do is, okay, so I got a A in my HCM class, which is healthcare management, and I got a C in my statistics class. That was my second time taking it. No mathematician over here. And all I needed was a D to actually pass. And I was taking that at two different schools. I was going to two different universities. So I was going to a 2-year school, but they transfer over to the 4-year school. The 4-year school also had the same class, but I didn't want to take my chances in dropping my GPA from over there. Thank you. Hey, Phyllis, how you doing? I knew if I took it at the big university, at the 4-year university, it was going to hurt me, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. They have the same class over here. I'm going to take it at this 2-year school. You know what I'm saying? This JUCO over here. It was like, that's okay. They have the same requirements. So I was just like, yeah, bet. I knew I was going to fail it. I told my advisor, I said, I'm going to fail it the first time. I'll take it again. They was like, do your thing. Because that's what happened with accounting. I failed accounting the first round. And I knew I was because it's a lot of information. I was like, I know I'm going to fail. And second time around, I had a really cool teacher. He was, he saw me really struggling. I was going to him and talking to him online and showing up early. I was going to all the classes like, yo. And he saw me putting forth the effort. So whenever test time came, he would really talk to us in a almost a childish way, but you didn't care. You're like, I'm I'm older than you, but you didn't care because you're like, I know what he's telling me is on the test. He's like, this is what's going to be on the test. Like, calm down, Joey, calm down. Like he's doing that to us. Like, this is how this test is going to go. I'm not going to tell you the answers, but this is what you need to study. This is what you don't need to study. Like he was really doing that stuff. So I was like, yeah, bro, talk to me like I'm a 3-year-old. This is the one time where I really don't mind because you got to humble yourself if you trying to, what I'm saying? Because my first statistic teacher, she didn't give a rat's behind about you. She didn't. She was giving me zeros left and right. Man, she had so many people drop out of class, they were complaining about her because people were dropping like flies. But, I told her to her face, I said, I already knew I was going to take this class again. But why do you keep giving me zeros when I don't deserve it? So she was just pushing the narrative that I was going to have to take it again. I was like, something's wrong with this woman. But I didn't argue with her. I didn't fight with her because I had an agenda. I was like, I'm going to let this slide. Boom. So today was my last day of class. And my teacher, she said, you're pretty much going to get a C. Right now I have a 78. And that's going to drop because this last test I took was a doozy. And it was just, it's a bunch of stuff all together. And I didn't know it. But it really didn't matter because she already told me before class started how many points I had. And they don't take those points away from you. You know what I'm saying? You needed 500 points. I walked in class today with 302 points, actually like 304 or 5 points. So I didn't even need to take the test. It was just gravy. I really didn't need to take the test. I already had a C. But you don't do a good teacher like that. All the help she's been giving us, you don't say, hey, I'm just not going to take the test. No, I went in there and struggled because of her. I didn't even need to show up today. I could have been like, screw it. But I went in there simply because of that woman was helping us every way possible, because the class was a 10-week class that's actually supposed to be a 15-week class. So she was flying through the material. Flying through the material. We was doing like 5 chapters in like 2 weeks. She was flying through it. So she had all kind of ways for you to get, I mean, she had extra credit. She had this, that, but she taught you exactly what you needed to know. And so I'm grateful for that. So now, basically, I go to school. I'll go to the college. Yeah, she was really, really helping us. Some of the stuff she was doing was just like, wow, like we all saw it. Like one of the students got her a card at the end because I was like, look, I was going to get you an apple, but you know, I was like, man, you are really something else. She really did babysit you because one young lady, she got like an 8 on her last test. And I was like, wow, you know, but it is what it is. You know, you get in, you know, the teacher's face, she's like, I see you really trying. So she was trying to help us out as much as she could. Because I sat right in front. I'm the biggest guy in there. Here's the teacher's desk here. Like literally, this is a teacher's desk. This is where I was sitting. Like this. Yeah, inverse norm. Yeah, standard, okay, normal CDF, normal PDF, got you. Maybe a bag of apples, right? That's literally where I sat the whole time. I wanted to make sure I heard everything. I was just like, okay, yeah. And I asked the most questions. She's like, you got any questions, Anthony? I'm like, yeah, I do. What does that mean? Yeah, man. So yeah, it feels good. I'm telling you guys something. I started college when I was 27 years old, 26. I had a scholarship to go to Talladega is where I started college. And don't know where that's at, or if you heard of it, you never really understood the inference on Talladega, or not the inference, the importance of Talladega. It's in Alabama, and the reason why a lot of people know it is because it is the largest raceway that there is in the United States. The Talladega Downs. You'll also hear about, you know, some of them goofy movies with race car drivers. They talk about the Talladega Downs. That's the city I went to when I first started. And when I first started, I went on a scholarship, a track scholarship, because I was just running around. Literally, I ran a lot. And I was living in the hood, broke as hell. And I was like, I want to go to college. And there was a young lady, it wasn't my girlfriend or nothing. I just knew her. And she said, well, I went to Talladega College. I was like, where is it? She said, it's in Alabama. And I was just like, okay. I said, I want to go to an all-black college. She was like, it's an all-black college. So I contacted them. And I talked to the track coach, and he was like, how fast can you run? And I was like, I can run a mile in 4:26. He was like, I'll give you $1,000 scholarship for that, you know, each semester. I said, bet. And that was that. I went down to see him, talked to him for a minute, and that was that, you know, and I started school, and then, you know, some crazy stuff started happening at Talladega. Plus, yeah, most people heard of it by the raceway. And that's when I had, you know, my one and only child. And after I had my baby girl, I had to get on back here because I started working. I was like, I'm just going to work and, you know, take care of my kid and stuff like that. And I kind of put college on the back burner. And then as she got older, I was like, I need to go back to college. That urge just wouldn't leave me alone. Like, I want a degree, and it just got louder and louder in my head. So, I'm a veteran, so I went to, and tried to get in the VOA program, but I was only 10% disabled. They were telling me no, and they told me no for like 5-6 years. They just kept telling me no. So I started college on my own, and I actually went to I actually went to 1, 2, 3, like 4 or 5 different colleges. I have so many credits, it's just crazy, but anywho, so it's taken me a very long time to graduate. And now that I'm in college mode, I'm looking at getting a law degree. So now from now until I get the money, because I'm not going to take out any loans. I need about $30,000, preferably 40, because living expenses. But I'm okay on living expenses, but you need some extra help when college is all you're doing. So the colleges I'm looking at, is I always wanted to graduate from The Ohio State because it's a huge name. Nobody can say, I never heard of the school you went to. Grad school and a degree. Now get your disability percentage up. I know. I've actually been on that, man. I've been on that. I just went to the hospital. Matter of fact, I got to go back. I've been on that. I'm trying to get it up to at least 50 to 60%. That would take care of a lot of, what I need. And so basically, I've been researching how to get money. There's a lot of free money out there. It's another reason why I'm making this video. There's a lot of free money out there for those of you who want to go to school, back to school, no matter what age, color, county, creed you come from. Even if you're somebody who's in the country and don't have a green card, there's still college. There's free colleges out there that are accredited. I have the college I want to go to. I want to get a degree from The Ohio State. And I wouldn't mind. I was going to get an art degree from there, but I don't want to waste my time with an art degree. I got mine once my children left the nest. Yeah, it's like that. I just had a desire to finish. Yeah, it made the Dean's List 3. We'll see. I'm bragging because I ain't gonna ever make the Dean's List. I ain't gonna never, ever make the Dean's List. However, I was told by the Army people who were paying for it, the vets. She's like, listen, you don't pass this time, you're gonna have some explaining to do. She said you need to get your GPA up. So they talked to the representative at the 4-year school I went to, and she said, look, he needs to get a B in this class. And then she said, in the other class, you need to get a D, at least a D. You can't get an F. Like, you have to. So I end up getting a C and an A. So that's going to bring my GPA up to, I don't know, 2.45, maybe, something like that. I want it to be at 2.5 and up, actually close to 2.7. That way I can apply to some of these grad schools if I decide not to become a lawyer. And but being a lawyer is sounding just more and more of my personality, because I want to be a research lawyer. I want to be a proactive, not reactive. I don't want to be an ambulance chaser. I'm not interested in none of that. I'm not interested in, going after a bunch of doctors for malpractice. Like, I don't want to be that dude. Like, I don't want to be the scumbag of it. You know what I'm saying? They make money, but, I just don't want that to be my hustle. I want to be the lawyer that lawyers come to when they need to know about a certain topic within the field, which mine is healthcare. There are healthcare lawyers out there. They know their stuff, but there's a difference. There's proactive and reactive healthcare lawyers. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much, Logan. Yes, it is going to pay off. So it all depends on what you want to do. Now, a lawyer that's reactive is one that you call when something happens to you. Or let's just say you need to file a lawsuit against a doctor for malpractice. You know, you're going to call a healthcare lawyer. Let's just say, hey, what's going on? Ray Play, how you doing? Well, I'm glad you got it. Talk to you later. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Phyllis. Thanks for stopping by. Everybody say what's up to Phyllis. She is the woman. So when it comes to lawyers, you know, I'm just now finding a lot of this out. I'm looking on YouTube, finding a lot of this stuff out. And it's all new to me, but I'm starting to get it down. And, you know, I'm just looking at what I really want to be, because, you know, I want to have my own practice. But like I said, I'd rather be just a research lawyer. And one of the reasons why is not because I'm a big reader or didactic or anything like that, because you can do research. Most of it you do online. You have places that you go that gives you the right information. And I learn audibly. So you know, that's kind of the lane I'm in. And not only that, being that information is there, and you know, it can be interpreted a lot of different ways. It just helps the lawyer that's about to walk in the court, you know, for an asbestos claim. Thanks. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I won't get until September, but you know, I wasn't even going to do the whole cap and gown thing. I was just going to go and be like, give me my paper, fool. But I'm just like, this only happens once. I'm like, you know, I'm going to cap and gown it up. I'm going to have my capture shot like this, pimping like, boom, 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 boom. She's a brick. You know, have some barcades playing in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have some shades on with it. She's a man. You know, maybe have some BGs in the back. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do something. But you know, because you only get it once. But my mind is really focused on the next level now. I'm even, yeah, so you know, my whole modus operandi is to change some of the healthcare laws. And for those of you who don't know me, I used to work in the House of Representatives. So I've worked around legislation. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be a legislator. I don't think I'm going to be a lobbyist, but I want to work with them. I could do that now if I wanted to, but you know, they help change laws. But I want to get somewhere next to Congress. That's what I'm really looking at. Like, that's my end goal. So that's a lot. That's a lot, because I don't necessarily need to be a politician, but I need to think like one. And I already do, especially in my arguments. If you guys ever hear me argue with somebody, I answer people like a politician sometimes. It's because of, you know, I used to be around them. And a politician usually talks in a way where they're not trying to argue with you, even though it's an argument. It's an argument. We're disagreeing, sometimes loudly. But, you know, you got to talk to people in a way where you want to still be able to talk to them when it's all over. You know what I'm saying? You can't be talking about somebody's mama and expect to have a conversation with them, you know, after that. It just doesn't work that way. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. But like I said, I'm not saying I'm running for office or anything, but I do want to work with those people. Like, I want to work with the Senate. I want to work with Congress and people along that lines. And one of the best ways to do that is to become a lawyer. So that's what I'm saying, you know. Yeah. So, you know, if I went the other way and just went ahead and got an MBA, which is also fine, you know, just get your MBA, you know, and then study for the bar. That's also fine. And just got an MBA, that positions me to work in that setting somewhere. I'm really not a 9-to-5 guy. I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to listen to somebody tell me when to get up in the morning. It just bothers me. Well, the workday starts at 7. No, your workday starts at 7. Mine starts when I get up, and sometimes that's 4 o'clock in the morning, because I used to have to get up at 2:30 and be at work, working on the line by 6. So I was traveling at 4 in the morning, not to mention I'm ex-military. And we do more before 9 o'clock than you people do all day, and that is an understatement. So I'm used to getting up early. That's not the issue. It's sometimes because I'm a disabled veteran, I can't, you know, I'm not as spry as I used to be. You know what I'm saying? I was in the Army. My dad was in the Army. My sister was in the Army. My brother was in the Army. My nephew is in the Army. We are Army strong. Thank you for your service. Yeah, I was not smart enough. No, I missed it by 2 points to get into the Air Force because I wanted to be a pilot, even though I suck at math. So I don't know how that was going to work. Yeah, thanks, man. I always wanted to be, you know, fly one of those jets. But as soon as they start talking about a high aptitude of math, I was like, well, maybe I could just work on the docks where they're at, or something, just be around them, because I'm fascinated with, you know, airplanes and stuff like that. And they're amazing to me, but it never did happen. However, if I still want to work around them, you know, here's the thing about healthcare. I mean, I talk about healthcare a lot, and I was talking about it before I even decided to get a degree in it, because I come from a family of artists. My mom was an artist. My older brother's an artist. My sister went to 2 years of art school, graduated 2 years of art school. And my little brother can draw, and my sister can draw. Like, we can all draw. My brother plays like 13, 14 different instruments. We love art. But you know where we end up going? All to the medical field. My brother is, he was a phlebotomist. My sister was a STNA. I don't know if she's still doing that, but nonetheless, she's certified, and she lives in the ATL. My brother lives in Texas. And I'm in the medical field. Because the medical field is just booming right now. And the thing about it is, the medical field is going this way, and the population of workers are going this way. Especially if you start looking at the VA hospital. The VA hospital has an issue with keeping their staff. Most hospitals have it, but here's the thing about the VA hospital. They close at 6. Some of the hospitals just don't stay open, you know, every day, all day. They just don't. So when you have a triage that you can't go to, that's a problem. And that's the hospital that I'm near now. They close at 6 o'clock. Some of the staff like it, some don't. But here's another thing. Some of the staff that are working there are from out of the country. They come in on some type of work visa, and the doctors will work there for a minute. Then they'll jump to another hospital, get paid these colossal numbers. And the thing about it is, it's easy for the VA to hire these doctors. But the worst part about it is, those people aren't American. And I don't mean American like you're not American, like you don't eat apple pie and watch baseball. No, I mean they're not American. They're just not. They weren't born here. They simply come here because they know they can land a job, suck up a bunch of money, and dip. That's exactly what they do. But the problem is they don't understand the veteran. They look at the veteran as just another person. They don't look at the veteran as somebody who's fighting for them, because you're not. It's just a whole different ball of wax. And now there's this influx of staff that they're just dwindling, dwindling. Nurses too, because veterans are difficult, to say at the least. And that's all because of war. You get some veterans that are PTSD and all this other stuff, it's an uphill climb because they can just one bang, one loud noise, it's over. It's a totally different patient than somebody on the street. It's just different. Because no matter how you look at it, when you go into the military, the first thing they do is train you to do what? Kill. And it works. It works. They beat it into you. They yell at you. They give you a gun. It's not like they give you a pencil and paper and tell you to, hey, you need to, no. They hand you a gun, a very powerful one at that. They hand you an M16A2, I think the version is A3 now, an M16A2 or 3 air-cooled 7.5-pound rifle. That rifle can shoot at 700 some odd, yards or something like that and put a hole in your chest. It's a very dangerous bullet too. Please don't use that language on my channel, but hello, how are you? But, man, just chatting it up, talking about, the military and graduation. I'm going to make some music here in a minute because I feel like it. But it's a whole different type of patient, and that's where the customer is. That's where the VA hospital differs from other hospitals. Look, there's some people who can't even go outside. Like the video I showed you, the hospital I was in about a month ago, that hospital is a hospital only for veterans. And some of that hospital is closed off. The people housed there cannot even come outside because it's not fenced off. They don't let them outside. These are the people who can do some serious damage and just flip out because they've seen too much. They've seen too much war. War does that to you. It really, really, like some people think that PTSD is just, it's nothing. No. It really messes up your head when you see your friend get his head blown off. It does something to you. It changes your mind. And the thing about it is, see, you got to understand, you're not fighting somebody who has a red coat on or a blue coat on. You're fighting somebody who you recognize their complexion and yeah, sometimes they do, but I know people who have gone through that. So it's not a matter of a lie or not. Like my friend went through that. So he's still going through it, actually. So I know this to be true. But they recognize a nationality and say, this is the nationality that we were fighting. Let's just take that. Let's just take Vietnam. We were fighting Asians, right? Now, they're our allies. Remember Japan, Pearl Harbor? They blew up Pearl Harbor. You know what I'm saying? One of those ships had 1,100 men that died in it. Now, Japan is our ally because the emperor surrendered after they dropped, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The emperor is like, okay, fine. Now they're our allies. But you think that everyone who fought in those wars realizes that an Asian person, any Asian person, especially those who are POWs for years, getting tortured and all that, you think that they look at every single one of them as an ally now? No. No. They're the enemy. That's it. That's the problem. Anyways, music. How about some of that? You guys want to hear some music? Yeah, they lied to us about Pat Tillman. That was a damn shame. They set him up. I like you, the Pat Tillman. They did us wrong. They did us wrong about Pat Tillman. Music. Where am I at? All right, I'm gonna make a new jam. What kind of beat y'all want to hear? What kind of jam y'all want to hear? Oh, jam. What kind of beat y'all want? Bam, 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 bam. Boom, 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 bam, bam. No request? No request? All right. Just make any old kind of. If I do, it's going to be hip hop. I always wanted to do something with an organ, but I don't really. I think I got one song with the organ in it. But I love the whole. I love the high, especially an octave higher. But I can't really, it's just hard to place it. You can't do it by itself. Like I tried to. It sounds whack by itself. Like, get it, beloved. You got it here today. Minor note. Minor note. Minor. All right, but depends on what kind of organ. That's a light organ. Some people really be rocking a jazz organ. The jazz organ. Here's a heavy organ. I can't do that, but that'd be like a rock organ. Grand organ. Can't do that. That's your rock organ. That's your bebop. Trifecta. You hear that? All right. This is gonna sound whack, but I need to. It's gonna sound whack because it needs to be live. It needs to be better. But I'm gonna just try it. Oh no. Okay. All right, so this is gonna be rough, but it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. Everybody had a good day today? All right, so let me get to my drum kit and try to find. Oh no, I want to start examining some of these drum kits. That sounds a little better. A little better. But the snare's too loud. I like the snare. I like the bass. Huh. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be something like that, but none of these really add up. Like that. That's not bad. That's almost it. All right, I'm just gonna do this I'm just gonna throw in a bass real quick. I just want to see what's up. If this is even worth pursuing. Because I might not have the equipment to really do this. It's not worth it. The bass ain't that bad. I'm just not that good. And I don't have what I need. But before I erase this, I want to try something. That's what it's all about. You got to try different stuff. I like that the most, but I use it too much. All right, let me. I need some emotional strings. I need some emotional pause, emotional. I need the trying to get what's in your head out. It's just not easy. Oh, these are none of this is really sense, all natural sound. Thank you guys for listening. Whoever's listening, I appreciate it. Just want to let you guys know I really do like that sound. Now, okay, so this is a string sound. So all right, so listen to this sound. This is single notes you listen to. It's a single note. Playing an chord, 3 notes. Now, okay, so need to hold on a second. Almost like that, but without so much reverb. And without the attack. The attack has to. Oh, that's too much. Almost. See, I don't have what I need. That's with the flute. And that's too shallow. Sound I need, I'm not. And I know it's there somewhere. All right, let me see what this is going to give me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me right now. You see where I'm going with it? But it's all right. Bum, bum, bum. It's built up more than that. It's like oh, it's just a lot. Right now, it's like it's too thin. There's some. All right, so I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat this piece of pizza. All right, so let me rock with this. But you see how it's starting to do something? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so but the crash, but this isn't hard enough. I'll try it though. I'll put it in there anyway. All right. This needs some love. I'm gonna throw in these hi-hats, but I'm probably not gonna keep them. So there's a couple things I'm just gonna toss in here, but I'm not gonna keep. But just to try to glue stuff together so you can hear kind of where it's going. Boom, 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 Not hard enough. Definitely not hard enough. Close. Something like that. But like I said, this is kind of rushed. This kind of just I heard somebody knocking. Boom, 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 boom. It's a work in progress. I had to slow that down. That's tough. That's tough. Almost had it too. This do-do-do-do-do. I need two of them. Bum, bum, bum. A lot of work. Need some engineering work. Got a bass, but it doesn't got a it has a direction, but it's on a track that you need. Your sounds will start, they'll blend in the wrong way. You'll just hear it. You'll be like, this doesn't even sound like the right instrument. But when you play it by yourself, it's like, oh, it's the right instrument. It starts to bother you. You're like, but that's because, you need, step up your game. GarageBand is so sick, but I haven't put that much time into developing the actual sound. So when you're just dealing with the regular stuff and just throwing it out there and not tweaking your sound, like I don't go and master any of this stuff that you guys hear. I just play it like it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's actually the hook. Like a 4-part. And a regular beat, just boom, 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 boom. So the regular beat probably sounds something like. Yeah, if you're kicking it right and get it right. Of course, there'll be all kind of stuff over that. There'll be but I'm gonna leave it at this. And then when I start putting my stuff back on SoundClick, because so many people have been asking me about my music, and I'll see if some of you guys actually want to buy it. Then I'll actually produce this whole track out, you know what I'm saying, and spend a couple dollars on it and get it to where it's, like really like, you know what I'm saying, where it is good enough for somebody to spit bars over, to where their voice and the instruments isn't going to sound all muddied up and blurred out and stuff like that. So it costs a couple dollars to do that. But, this is one of the tracks I'm going to do that to because I like it so much. It's just that old, back in the 70s mixed with some 90s, hip hop style, back when Jay-Z was just, when it's reasonable doubt type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do, because I like that era. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Live instruments. I like that era, so that's where I'm going with this. Bum, 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 bum. Probably could use some horns, but I'm not really sure how to throw these horns in there. Bum, bum, bum. So if I try to throw some horns in here, it's gonna sound really beat up for right now. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Maybe an octave up. Bum, bum. Maybe jump an octave. Full brass. It's just. Can't even hear it. Let me turn it up. That's my fault. All right, at all. Isn't working. Nonetheless, I'm gonna leave that right there because I like it, but I know it's an actual work in progress, big time. And I got like one person listening. You guys aren't saying too much anything. I don't know who's listening. Is Brian listening? I don't know. And I'm gonna leave this alone for right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and bug out, and talk to you guys later, man. Thanks for stopping by.